What is the Dark Embryo and why is it threatening all human life in the prehistoric age? Well, let's hop into the pages of the Jurassic League issue number 2 and find out together, shall we? Alrighty then, so as we rejoin the book, we check back on in with Batsaur. He had saved a young cave boy at the end of the previous issue, and because of that, he just can't get rid of him now. The kid absolutely talks our dino's ear off, but in doing so, he actually ends up dropping some interesting nuggets of information. Apparently, the tribe he was part of used to live in the mountains, but moved to the jungles to look for food. Despite being a cave person too, it's not like the boy is dumb. He very easily can make the distinction between the good dinosaurs, like the one who helped him, and the evil dinosaurs, or demons as he calls them, while also claiming that Jokerzard and the other evil dinosaurs may actually have come from the volcano, or maybe even from under the earth itself. Of course, most of this information ends up falling on deaf ears, as Batsaurus can't actually speak human. It's while walking around, though, the two end up hearing a major commotion coming from Stone Age Metropolis, as Giganta and Bizzarosaur are trying to kidnap more humans for the Dark Embryo. Standing in their way, though, is of course Supersaur, who does everything in his power to try and save the people. I gotta say, I love this panel wherein we see Supersaur using every one of his limbs, including his tail, to cradle as many people as possible. Batsaurus actually ends up joining the fight. Again, he may not be much for friends, but as it seems right now, Supersaurus and him all share the same enemy, so they might as well be on the same side. Even with the extra help, though, unfortunately the villains pull out all sorts of dirty tricks, like setting fire to the nearby area. Supersaurus is beaten into a pulp by his evil bizarre counterpart, and poor Batsaurus gets crushed under burning debris. Now while all this is going on, we see what actually became of the Jokerzard. He got pretty banged up at the end of the previous issue, but it wasn't the end of him, as he was actually saved by the super speedster, get this, Reverse Slash. The Jurassic Speedster takes the Joker dinosaur to the Dark Embryo, where evil energies seem to heal him. We also see that all the other villains are being directed by Atrocosaurus. Yes, that's right, the evil Red Lantern is a dinosaur too. The main goal here seems to be feeding the Dark Embryo as much human energy as possible so that it can be strong enough to hatch. Into what? Well, your guess is as good as mine, but I can only assume some sort of Jurassic version of Darkseid. Now, even though Batsaurus has been telling his human companion to get lost since this issue began, the kid still comes back and tries to pull him out from all the burning rubble. And even though there's a language gap between them, Supersaurus actually proves to be that bridge. Being a dinosaur but also being raised by a human, he can speak both languages. And why yes, just like human Batman and Superman, Batsaurus and Supersaurus are diametrically opposed. Batsaurus can't believe that this guy would ever want to try and fight for a world where human and dinosaurs can live together in peace, and Supersaurus thinks Batsaurus is being too cold and grim for his own good. But hey, whatever happened to Wonderdon? Well, she finally makes her way to man's world on her invisible pterodactyl in just enough time to see where Giganta got off to with all of those stolen humans. Fitting, isn't it, that the Wonder Woman stand-in first does battle with the Wonder Woman villain stand-in. Wonderdon is an adept combatant as well. I love seeing the dinosaur versions of her classic sword and shield combo. But how is just one very powerful, well-trained Wonderdon meant to do battle against all of these villains? Well, she won't have to do it alone, because as the comic comes to a close, the Prehistoric Trinity is finally formed as Batsaurus and Supersaurus join Wonderdon. And so that was the Jurassic League issue number 2, everybody, and overall, much like issue 1, I don't know what you want me to say here. It's the Justice League plus dinosaurs. What's not to love about it? It is basically 100% what you read on the tin. Nothing more, nothing less. In fact, if this were any other writer-artist combo, I would probably call this a little thin in the story department, but Daniel Warren Johnson does such a good job here telling the story with the art that, well, I would just have to be made of stone to not be charmed by it, and that's exactly what the Jurassic League is. It's charming. 2 issues in, I don't know if it's going to be on my best of the year list, but it's certainly something that I had a ton of fun reading and something that I'm very much excited for to read the next part of. Overall, I'd give it a positive 7.5 out of 10. Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.